I don't know about you guys, but I am so sick and tired of all the podcasts that are 10 steps to a better life, 7 steps to success. Stop giving out so much advice and tell more stories. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the Empowered People Podcast, where each and every week we are going to shine the light on the people, places, and positive things that are happening throughout the city, the things that are making Kansas City brighter. Guys, when I started this company 4 years ago, I knew that in the 4 years that we would be in business, however long we'd be in business, we were going to do a lot of amazing projects. What I didn't realize, and the reason that we started the Empowered People, is I didn't realize all the amazing people that I was going to encounter while I built these projects, while I built these restaurants, while I built these coffee shops and breweries and nonprofits and office buildings. Amazing entrepreneurs, both young and old, that were doing great things, that maybe were doing great things at such a high rate that they didn't have the ability to promote themselves, to get the word out, to kind of market themselves the way that they should, could, or would, given their abilities. So we started this new segment where we're going to interview these people and sit down with them to hear kind of the why and the story behind what they're doing, why they're doing it, how they're setting themselves apart. Guys, I'm so excited about today's interview because I sit down with Jessica and Ureli of the Barrel House Barber Lounge, which is just south of the river in the River Market area. It's an amazing barber shop that is so focused on, they would say, male pampering. Don't like that phrase, but it's male grooming, right? Straight razor shaves, nose waxing, facials, hard parts, fades, great haircuts. Their level of service and their attention to quality and detail is absolutely amazing. They've only been in business 1 year, but the amount of traction that they have gained is absolutely phenomenal. So I hope that you get a ton out of this episode. I hope that you go to their website and get your next cut there. Don't go where Matt goes. And enjoy, guys. Ladies, thanks a ton for doing this. I know it's a little intimidating to get started, but thanks a ton for making the time to come out.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
So anyways, the podcast listeners, the YouTube watchers know that what I've said about you two is your name is Jessica and Ureli. You're partners at the Barrel House Barber Lounge, and you're entrepreneurs and you're barbers. So for the listening audience and the watching audience, Jessica, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
All right. My name is Jessica Gilmore. We started the Barrel House Barber Lounge together we're coming up on our 1 year anniversary. Other than that, though, I've been doing hair I've been licensed for about 7 years. KC native, grown up here my whole life, Lee Summit area. Hair is my life, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Ureli, you?
So my name is Ureli Alvarez. I am first generation here. My parents are from Mexico. I am super excited to be here, nervous. I've been doing hair for over 7 years. It's been quite the journey to open up your own shop. We absolutely love it.
Guys, everyone that's listening, whether it's your first time listening or your 100th time listening, you know that we try to bring you stories that necessarily aren't getting in the spotlight, right? The people and places and positive things that are happening throughout Kansas City that are making it more enjoyable to be here. I mean, I don't know if it was because the Royals went to the World Series, but there is this big, massive Kansas City pride that's happening right now. And I think a lot of times, there's not enough influence or light or magnification on small businesses. So that's one of the main reasons that even just as I came to your guys' place the first time 6 months ago, 8 months ago, whatever it was, I haven't been in enough to get my hair cut. That's where I get my hair cut. It's just been an awesome experience, and I wish more things like that existed. And so just taking the time to kind of, get the nerves out, talk about this thing. I mean, you ladies are up to something really good. But one thing I want to know is, how did you two first meet? I mean, you both said that you have 7 years kind of experience with hair, but how did you first meet, and what were your first impressions of each other?
So we met pretty early on in our career because we worked together for about 5 years. So I guess it's been, or actually over 5 years now, though. 6 years now.
It's going on 7.
Yeah, that's crazy. So we met at our previous shop that we worked at. And and that's she started maybe like a month or two after I did, so we were kind of like the fresh meat together. So I think that's kind of what brought us together, is we bonded through being like the newbies and kind of unexperienced and figuring it out together.
Had either of you done hair before you met, or did you learn while you were there?
No, yes, we have.
Yeah.
I was licensed like a year and a half before I started working there.
I think we both did like women's hair too. Like this was my first job doing like purely men's hair. So it was a big change, but I instantly fell in love with just doing men's hair. And
I could never do women's hair.
no,
I
think we both
too
like
much hair, too much everything, stress, drama. I mean, they don't get their hair cut often enough, which I think it's pretty crazy. So
Ureli, what was your impression of Jessica when you first met? Was it just best friends at first sight? You just loved each other?
No.
So when I first met Jessica, she had like super short, dark hair.
You gotta put me out like that.
She
had a mullet.
Yeah, she did. I was like, oh my gosh, why is she working here? Anyways, was it? Yeah. When we met. So Jessica's her birthday's on February, and she was turning.
Started in the fall. So we worked a while together before. She always says that she wasn't friends with me because I wasn't 21 yet, and she's like, "Oh, you couldn't go out or do anything." But I don't know. I think those experiences kind of brought us together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like the first time we connected, was my 21st birthday. Because I was actually like the baby at the shop we were working at, and everyone was older than me, and everyone was like, oh, we got to do your 21st birthday up right. We're going to like show you, we're going to get bottles and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. And my 21st birthday fell on a Sunday, and so I couldn't go out till midnight. So my plan was to like just wait in this hotel room and like meet everybody out. So I get there at midnight, and like everyone's hammered, and I get there and like Ureli shows up, and I was like, what, you came?
Yeah, she wasn't expecting me to come.
Yeah, we hadn't really like bonded or connected. So I was just surprised she came to my birthday party, and then, the drinks were flowing.
I'm not that older, okay? I'm like a year and a half older than Jessica.
She's like 2.
No.
That's I mean, yeah. No, super funny. So as you're kind of progressing on at the previous place, you're learning, you were licensed before, and your skills are improving. Who was the first one that kind of thought, or when did either one of you start to think like, hey, I think I could do this on my own? Or was there a thought of like wanting to do it on your own, or thinking you could, or thinking you should? Like what prompted those thoughts?
It was quick, and it was definitely her idea.
It's my idea.
Yeah. Because I think that day, like the idea got brought up. We were like, in a year, we're going to be open. And
because it's like a bad day at the shop. And
yeah, we were just bitching and complaining about everything. I don't
happy.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. Just make sure you keep that microphone about a fist. You say whatever you want as long as that microphone is in front of your face.
Is this the right posture?
Yeah, that is the right posture. You got to say super awkward.
But yeah, it was like a bad day, and she was like, screw this place. Let's start our own place. And I'm like, hell yeah. But if we're going to do it, I want it to be like cool in downtown, and I don't have a Missouri license.
And I was like, oh my gosh, Jessica.
She
get it tomorrow.
And she's like, you need to get it now. And because you have to have your Missouri license for a year to be able to do a barber crossover. And even though I'd already been licensed in Kansas for so long, so I was like, I'm on it. I'm going to get my license. So she was really like on my ass the whole time to like get these things done. And then once we did, I think it was like, we want to be, open in a year, and we opened in 8 months.
Yes.
So
time out. So backtrack just a little bit, because I there's questions that I have. So did you have a license in Kansas and Missouri?
Yes.
So, but you both had to have to open, or why did you have to have your Missouri license?
Well, to be able to cut hair.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
Okay. So you could have, but you couldn't do it without her. Was there something about each other? Because like, if it was your idea, what made you, ask Jessica to partner up?
Her skills. She's really good. Her personality. She's very down to earth as well. I feel like we work very well as partner because we're both are pretty straightforward with each other. We have this really good communication when it comes to stuff. Our relationship throughout the years have actually built up to becoming more than friends. You know, it's more like family at this point. Yeah, so I like talked to her about it. I was like, dude, we should just open up the shop. I'm like, numbers are great. We can do this. We love what we do at this moment. I just feel like I'm just like a robot cutting hair. I'm not where I want to be. And I'm like, we should just look into it and just see what we think. And then kind of just went from there. And
so when you say that, because I think it's true with a lot of like high achievers, that people that have a lot of potential, was that mostly it, as you felt like your skills were kind of stifled,
yes.
that you were just going through the motions?
Yes, we felt like there wasn't room for us to grow. And we were like, we feel stuck. We feel like we're not growing. We feel like we're taken advantage of at once upon a time, you know?
Yeah, we'd kind of reached our max potential at the place we were previously. And so it was like, well, what's the next move from here? What do? You open your own place. So
yeah, for sure. And so sorry, not to beat down this question, because I just think even as we've continued to grow, I mean, 4 years ago I started, it was me and a truck, and now we have 30 employees. And of course I want to keep great ones. Was it, whenever you say you reached your potential, I mean, money had an aspect to it, but was it more than just money?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was for me. I mean, because I really enjoy what I do. I love having a client in my chair, talking to them. I love and care about a lot of people, and everybody that's in my chair, I just kind of build like a relationship with them. It's more than just a cut once it comes to me.
Especially when you get to those, you know, that point with somebody where you've been cutting their hair for 5-6 years, you know, you've really developed like a strong bond with a lot of people and like these deep connections, and it really does end up like your friends are coming in, and it
doesn't feel like work. Mm-hmm. It doesn't. You
it's
just
like little
wake
hangouts every 30 minutes
yes.
with cool people.
Well, and so let's talk about that a little bit, just because, I mean, that is one thing that I've noticed. I mean, I'm going to be the first to admit that in my less wise days, I would go to the cheaper, crappy male barbershops. We won't name them, but you know who they are. Matt goes there.
Matt.
But one thing I noticed about you is, you know, when you sit in the chair with people like that, they kind of like, what's your name? Do you have kids? They kind of just ask the questions that you're like, did you learn these questions like while you were at school?
They're automated.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And sitting down with you, all three of you two, and then also Samantha, it was like you were extremely like interested. It wasn't just like, what's your wife's name? You know, it was there was an engagement there. And what was that like, that experience? Because at the Barrel House, it's awesome. It's so much fun. What was that like whenever you're that year before you're going to start your own thing? Did your service kind of waver? How did you clock in and clock out while dreaming somewhere else? Does that make sense?
Yes, like when our heart wasn't in.
Yes.
Well, I think that's what kept us going was the clients, because that's what made it hard to leave for so many years, was that we had developed such good relationships with so many people, and even the people that we worked with, we still adore like a lot of that staff, and so that's what made it hard to leave, even though it probably wasn't like best for us to stay there, but like just seeing the overflow of clients that have followed us, even driving, 25, 30 minutes to come down to the river market to see us. It's really, I don't know, makes it worth it for sure. It's like, okay, like the quality that we were giving and like these relationships we built, like they've meant something.
And I also think they followed us because they know we both started it, and it's like our own thing, and they're like, we're going to support us and whatnot. So they were like super excited. And obviously the service, the quality of service we give them and stuff, the experiences. And like you said, it's not just like we care about them. It's more about like the family, the experience. And then they also get a great haircut. So it's like all the things that a client's actually looking for. That's what we give them and provide them with.
You know, one thing, so sorry, this is kind of off topic, but I do want to just highlight this about you, is I feel like every time I go somewhere, they're always trying to sell me a ton of stuff at the end. Like, you need this product and this product and this product. And I don't think you've ever once tried to sell me a product. Is there a reason behind that? Or is it just you're like, crap, well, we need to try to sell more product? But you know what I mean? I don't know what the reason for that is. I don't know if they get a commission on it.
So like at our job, like we were like
commission based on
and like
product.
we needed to hit those goals or else, and that was an extra way to make money. And we do provide product, and we carry Fat Boy, Baxter, like some top of the line products, and they're really great. But I guess it's less of a push now because it is our shop, and we don't feel the need to be like annoying about it. And we do sell a lot of product now, but
I'm pretty sure I did go over product with you, though.
Well, no. So I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean it in a positive way, where you would talk to me about product, or you even talk to me about using coconut oil in my hair for dry skin. And I mean, you're extremely helpful, but not pushy. I don't know. I just, as I'm thinking about those lower end places, I'm like,
I always try to educate about like using good product and using, better quality stuff, but I'm not going to be like, I don't want to seem like some car salesman that's trying to, hit my monthly goal.
Yeah. So as you're, continuing to work, you're getting your license, freaking slacker. So when I started, it was funny. Like I had to get a truck. I felt like I was driving a car, and I was like, I got to have a truck for ladders and things like that. And for you, like, you had to have a space. So like, what was that like? 'Cause like, whenever you're 18 and you get your first apartment, it's kind of exciting. And then the first time you buy your house, it's kind of daunting because it's like 50,000 papers. Yeah. Getting a commercial building and signing a commercial lease is kind of like exciting, but also, holy crap.
We fell in love with most of the spots. We just wanted to be out. We were like, yes, this will work.
She fell in love with most of the spots because she was so ready and so checked out. And she was like, yep, this is it. And I'm like, no, it's not.
My mom walked into one. She's like, this is not going to work. No.
She's like, yes, it will.
I'm like, we'll make it work. Like, I'm on it. Let's do it. They're like, no, it's too small.
How many spaces do you think you looked at? A lot or a little?
Probably at least 10 plus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you reached out to a real estate agent or something, or?
So I got connected. Her name's Jamie. She works for North Point Development. My mom is on the, apartment side of North Point. She's a property manager. And so she had those connections there. She hooked us up with, Jamie, who showed us around, and she was really great. But we looked, we looked at like the basement of Corrigan Station, which is like that.
It's filled with water.
Huh?
It's
like full of water, isn't it?
I don't
know.
Like
it's a little dungy.
But we looked all over. Like we set some pretty wide parameters, and we were just like, anywhere from like Brookside to the River Market, essentially. She's like, okay.
Well, and that's one thing you said you wanted it to be cool and downtown and hip. I think were the words that you used. What did that mean? Like why downtown? Why the River Market to?
I think what we were trying to create like hadn't been brought downtown yet. And I still think that's true.
Yeah. So that was one of the very first things I said, is because I had actually gone to your place. So true story. So the way that I found out about the Barrel House was I went to their previous place, which is way down south, and it was okay. Mm-hmm. But what was funny is it was kind of a cluster, and they were like, we just had 2 girls quit and start their own thing, and we have all these clients extra now, and they're just like whining and complaining. And I was like, oh yeah, where's it at? And they're like, I think it's in the River Market. And I was like, that's way closer for me. And so I'm literally on Google looking for like new barbershops that opened up, because it's just such a neat thing in North Kansas City, where we're at, just north of the river from where they are. There's a lot of barbershops, but it's very like old school. Yes. It's like dudes that sit down while they cut your hair, which is an awkward experience. I don't know why they do that.
They actually don't want any more clients. If you try to walk in there and you don't have an appointment, they're like, we're fully booked. We don't need you.
We've gotten some like horror stories of people that walk.
They're like kicked out. Yes.
I wonder. So I don't want to say his name because I think he's a great guy. But I walked in and he was like, "Who told you about me?"
Yeah.
And he was like mad.
They get mad if you walk in there.
Yeah. And then I tried to pay with the
then
debit
people
card.
looked
And
at
he's
us
like,
crazy
"I'm cash
they're
on
like,
me."
why are you moving down? Like, why are you opening a place down the street and like from one barber shop, and then on the other street from another barber shop, you've got two, popular Kansas City barber shops, like on each corner of you.
But I feel like we were so confident what we had to offer, and there's nothing around downtown. I mean, there's really nothing downtown. And I was like, Jessica, we got it. It's going to be great. Even though we're, close to barbershops, I'm like, it's females that are, that's going to do it. And we've done it.
No, that has been an interesting thing. So it kind of sounds like you're kind of, and I don't mean this in a wrong way, because me and my business partner, in a lot of ways, I'm kind of a leader. Like, I'm the dude at the base of the mountain screaming like, "This is what we're gonna do. This is how it, like, rah," just getting everybody pumped up. And he's the one that's like actually making the route up the mountain.
Yes.
And so like it seems like you're kind of this fearless, like, "Let's go."
Yes.
And Jessica's like, how? Like, where's the map? Like, do we have gas in the car? Like, I've actually ran out of gas like 8 times in my adult life because I'm like, we'll probably make it. And
no, we're definitely like yin and yang. I think that's why we get along so well, and why our partnership works is because we, like, what I lack, she has, and what she lacks, I have, and we make this like perfect little entrepreneur baby.
Yeah.
No, it's totally good. And so so you looked at a bunch of spaces, you found the one that you wanted, that worked out great. You got your license. Were there any other like non-negotiables that you had to have figured out before you started? Was there anything that kind of, so the reason I say that is, so like I told you, I bought a truck. The absolute true story. I won't get into. I've talked about it in the podcast too deep, but like my wife was literally like, "We can buy you a truck and you can start this business, but we can't have 2 car payments. So on our tax return, we need to get $6,000 back to pay off our minivan." Yeah, I drive a minivan. I got a lot of kids.
God.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I'm that guy in the suburbs driving a minivan. But she's like, "We need $6,000 to pay off the minivan, and then you can get a truck." And then literally, I'm going to do my taxes, and she calls me and she goes, "Wait, and I need a barbecue grill, so we need $6,400 to pay off the van and get a barbecue grill, and then you can buy a truck." And literally, we got like $6,450. Like, I mean, it was like the most ridiculous thing. And so, did you have any like barbecue grills or anything? New scissors you need?
No, we've kind of like, I think with the shop, like we didn't open doors with everything we needed to get started, or not needed, but like we've really kind of built it as we've gone, and we're still building it. We're about to get new stations. We're doing like these little upgrades along the way, instead of just like, oh, we need like everything nice and new. Like when we started, it was 4 chairs and a cardboard or like a card table, to check people out.
The bar wasn't done or anything.
Yeah, we didn't have a bar. We didn't have signage. Like,
I guarantee it didn't come fully furnished. I mean, who did the construction? I mean, because it's a beautiful space. I mean, the ceiling is extremely cool. The paint is good. The floor is good. I mean, who did that?
We did.
We did.
We did.
We brought in, funny thing, we actually brought in an architect. Like we were like, oh, we're going to make this like so badass. And he was like throwing out numbers like, oh, like between like 60 grand, 100 grand, blah, 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 like all these. And we were like,
I was like, what?
We're like, this is coming like out of pocket. So
did you start? I mean, I'm loving everything that you're saying, because this is flying in the face of so many entrepreneurs that are at WeWork right now that are like putting together business plan after business plan after business plan. That's like, they're going to think through everything. And you're kind of just like, we're going to do it and we'll figure it out.
Well, yeah, like we didn't go to business school. We've just been stylist barbers for whatever. And so we didn't really even know what to do, but I think that's what made us fearless and just like jump into it, because we didn't really know the risks or what to expect. And we were just like, yeah, we can do it ourselves.
Did you have, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but so you said this is coming out of pocket. Did you get a startup loan?
No.
Our
savings account were going tiny, tiny, tiny. It was kind of scary at first, seeing your savings account no money really coming in. Everything was just going out. At one point, I was like, holy cow. I would never tell Jess, but I was like, I hope this is the right decision.
Yeah.
I would see Jessica and she was like, dude, I'm like, it's okay. We got it. Let's just open and
literally
make money.
just pooled our funds together. Like her and I, we didn't get a loan.
We weren't approved.
I mean, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that whole process to get approved. And doesn't it make you kind of happy though?
But it was a blessing in disguise because now looking at it, like we don't have any debt. Like we completely, like we're not paying off this giant loan. We probably could have started out with like this big, awesome, completely finished space. But I think how we've done it, like I said, where we just started with our chairs and the cardboard or the card table, and now it's transforming into this nicer space. It's cool, and it's cool for our clients to see.
Well, and that, I mean, not to put words in your mouth, but that almost makes me go, now I understand why they don't push product. Like, had you had a big business loan, you might have been more like, this person's $1. Like every sale, every amount of money counts. And not that it doesn't count, but like, there's just something about that. So I mean, very similar. Not taking a loan and things like that. I think it was smart. So when you did finally open, you said some customers transitioned with you. I mean, what was that first week like? Were the chairs full, or
we actually had clients on our books already, and we didn't have our license, our inspection done, and we had clients booked for that Thursday. And we had an inspection like that Tuesday, and we were like, we better pass. Like, I have clients on my books. If
we're
not,
going to have to be doing them under the table.
Yes. So we passed it and everything. But the first week was really good. I think we had
first day, we were both fully booked.
We had like a new client come in. We had new clients coming in too. Like they were just like following us on Facebook and stuff. And we were like super excited because, a new client like on our first week, and he had just followed us on Facebook, and we're like, oh, sure.
Yeah, we had like 2 posts.
Yeah.
Dude, that is so cool. I mean, and it's funny, you might not remember that new, I mean, I don't know if they've come back a million times or whatever, but like you probably remember their face. Like you remember that interaction. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's funny. We've been in business for 4 years, and I still remember almost every job, and we've done 354 jobs or something. It's interesting how it burns into you. And like you said, like you made this entrepreneurship baby or whatever. It's like your business does kind of take on this like childlike, you care about it. You want to protect it. You want to see it do well. So as you're continuing to get new customers, are there any like customers that really stood out or experiences that really stood out, kind of even as you're talking about almost, making it to a year? Have there been any bad customers, or have they all been great?
I won't say we've had like bad customers, because normally like if you're going to be touching somebody's hair, they're going to be pretty cool to you.
Because you can ruin their life.
Yes.
Like nothing's stopping me from planting your hair at like a crime scene.
Yes. Don't mess with this.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously there's some that come in where you're like, oh, well, he wasn't pleasant, but
that's the reason why I do men's hair. Actually, women will come in and they are like, I want my hair like this, but I want the bangs from this picture. And yet they don't have the type of hair for that. And if you have a guy in your chair and you're like, try this looks better. I feel like you're, trying to accomplish this look. Or what do you do for a living? And we kind of guide them, and they're like, okay, let's try it. And obviously either they're going to really love it or not. And if they don't, they'll come in next time and we're like, so how was it? Did you like it? And, we try to make them feel comfortable. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you say no. We can just change it up to something that's better for you. So I feel like with us helping them and guiding them the correct way, it's always been easier. That's why they keep coming back.
Yeah. No, for sure. And so like because I mean, I would attest to what's funny is anybody who's listening, like this is where I go to get my hair cut. I mean, I would attest to all that, because I feel like every single time I've gone, we've had the discussion about whether or not to do the hard part or not. just little things like that. And I feel like, yeah, you're just like, whatever you want. What do you, I think this, or I think this, or if I change my mind, you're like, yeah, I agree with that, and I'm like, gosh, dang it. It's almost like I'm waiting for you to just say, do it, wuss. No. So as you've continued to grow and as the space has evolved, what is it like? Is it what you thought it would be a year in? Like, what were your expectations? Like, a year from now, we're going to be blank.
I think it's better. I think it's better than we envisioned.
Yes.
I think having like another person on board, we didn't really know. Like I said, this is our first time opening and running a business. We didn't know if we would have an employee by this point. In the fact that we do, and now that we're looking for a fourth person and then fifth and sixth, it's I think we're a lot farther ahead, and which is exciting. I just
keep telling us, I guess we're doing something right. I mean, this is awesome. We haven't even been there a year. We haven't really done any marketing. It's all been, just a
word of mouth.
Yes, word of mouth, and a little bit of Jessica takes over Instagram. And that's it. And we're pretty busy. We had to bring a third on, and we were 4 or 5 months in when we had to bring Samantha.
Yeah, because she
started in October.
She started on Halloween. Yeah.
How did you find her?
She found us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
how did that happen?
It was 5 minutes to close. We're ready to get out of there, and we see this chick running down the street. She's got a cutting apron on. She's sweating. She's out of breath. She's sprinting into the shop. She's slams her hand down on the counter, and she's and Ureli was cutting, so she had no idea. And I'm like, who is this crazy lady coming into the shop?
I was like, is this my client's wife? Or why is she running in here?
And all of a sudden this girl's asking for a job or asking info. And she had found out about us through, because I'd put up a little we're hiring thing. And she had found out about us through somebody that I went to hair school with. So just a mutual friend. And we had already interviewed somebody that we thought was going to be locked in. So I'm kind of man, we're not ready for a fourth yet, even though that person ended up not working out. So it ended up being a blessing in disguise. But she was just she was ready to show me what she's got. She's I'll come in, I'll do, I was well, you're going to need to do a technical haircut in front of me. She's I'll do two, Yeah, she's I'll show you what I got. Guys. So
yeah, because that's one thing. What would you say? Because I think I know, but I'll see if you answer the same way. I think. What do you think is the big difference between the cheap $10 guys haircuts and what you do? Because the reason I ask that is as you're going to interview Sam or see whether you bring a fourth and a fifth and a sixth person on, the pool of stylists is smaller. And we face that as electricians. We always say one of the big things is we don't want electricians that just have to be, but that want to be. And in the construction field, that's a big separator. So what are some of the big separators between the $10 special and what you guys do? Do you know?
I think just overall quality, honestly.
Quality and passion. You have to have a passion for what you do. If not, you're going to hate your job. You're going to be miserable. So if you don't have the passion to actually talk to people and give them a good haircut or just, interacting with them, it's not going to be a good fit. You're going to hate it.
Mm-hmm. And with people that are passionate about this industry, they're going to invest in continuing education. They're going to want to better themselves. They're going to want to continue to grow. Versus stylists and barbers that just stay stagnant because they just are doing it to get by or make an income. So I think, that really shows when somebody really wants to get better. And even if, they're a phenomenal hairstylist and barber, we still attend education classes. You never reach a point where you think you're the best. It's always changing. There's always, even if I take a class by somebody that's been in the industry for a year, I can always take something away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. It's funny when you said that. I had a guy we hired, and he moved on for a variety of reasons, but we would gladly welcome him back. But I remember when he interviewed, he's like, dude, I really want to work for you guys. Are you guys working Saturday? And we were actually really busy at the time. And I was like, well, maybe this Saturday. But the answer was absolutely yes. And he's like, I'll come and work for free and just show you all day what I got. And he came and worked 8 hours, and he was going to work for free. We paid him because you can't. work 8 hours for free. But it was just that kind of like drive. I was like, ooh, I like this guy, like, the person that didn't work out, was it there a passion issue or just a safety issue? Or when I say safety, I mean, some people are like, I don't want to come work for your company. It's 6 months old and there's 2 of you. The person that didn't work out.
Yeah, I think just not having the work ethic or drive.
Yeah. I really think he didn't think we would be where we're at right now.
Did you just say he?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Forget him.
Right.
Girl power.
Yeah.
So 1 year down, which I'm super excited about. I mean, that's a huge milestone. And I have a feeling that you're probably very similar to myself and my business partner. It's like these big milestones come and we want to be so excited, but it's just like, when you're the boss, it's like you've got to make sure that stuff's going, and it's hard to stop and celebrate. Do you have anything planned for your 1 year?
I think trying to get a date to plan our 1 year and like something that works out. It's been hard, but yeah, we definitely want to do something.
Yeah, you should do something, and everyone should follow them on Facebook and pay attention to if they are doing some kind of party and you want to come see the space, because the space is cool. I mean, I didn't get to come and see the card table, but like I have noticed things getting added, and it's just it's a really neat place, and it doesn't feel gimmicky, which I hate gimmicks. It doesn't feel like you're trying to be cool to be cool. It's like you want it to be warm and inviting and pleasant.
Yeah.
Which was really funny whenever I came in the first time and she seemed really warm and welcoming and you seemed very hard, which
it's definitely flip-flopped.
No, it's not. I'm always like, hi guys, welcome.
So big plans for the coming year, adding more employees, what?
Yes.
I think our goal, we discussed it earlier, is definitely to be fully staffed. Right now we've got 4 chairs. And then we're getting new stations built, so we're going to have 6 total. So like I said, we're looking for that 4th person, but I think just to be fully staffed at 6 in another year is our main goal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looking
ahead to the year, wanting to add these people and continue to grow, how do you know when to add somebody? I mean, is there a certain money in the bank that you need, or what is it that you're looking for to hire another person?
So we hired Samantha just because me and Jessica were pretty busy, where we are extremely busy at this point, but we were turning clients down, which means if we're turning clients down, we're turning money down. Samantha is commission based, so that's how we kind of, pay her. It's not like we had to have a certain amount of money in her bank account. So she's there, she's making her own money. And we were to the point where we were turning at least 5 or 4 clients on Saturdays down, which is 5 clients in a day. It's a lot. And then we're like, okay, I think we're ready to hire someone. And we were at first a little scared because it was so soon that we had just opened the shop. But it was
we're still trying to figure out like how to run the business, let alone like
hire someone.
Yeah.
I mean, she seems, I don't know her well, of course, but she seems to kind of like go with the flow. Like she's not going to be like super ticked off if like her paycheck doesn't go in at Friday morning, it's Friday afternoon or something.
Yeah, she's been a really good fit. Like we lucked out for sure.
No, that's great. And so as everyone, because just anyone that's running a business that hears that's like, man, I just need to hire that cultural fit.
Yeah. Don't like stress hire people for sure, because it's like, it's all about a good fit. Because even with like wanting to add a 4th person on, we've got this trio going on where, we all get along and everything, and you can add a 4th or 5th person and they can come in to disturb the mix. And that's why we want to hire people based off quality and not, because we need them. Yeah.
Well, and one of the things I remember it's a question I got asked, and I think it's completely true, is what you just said. You've already created the culture. The culture started with you too when you started this company. Now you just have to protect it. And so as you hire people on, they have to be passionate about what they do. They have to be, carrying quality, all that stuff. And the second that you hire someone that you realize doesn't have those same values, they've got to go immediately, because that whole like bad apple will ruin a bunch type of thing. That's just what we've noticed. And I would even just say to you, like, don't be scared to hire. But if you do hire and you think, especially in the first couple weeks.
I was just going to say, that's the whole thing. I feel like why it's been working out so well with me and Jessica, because our communication is great. If anything, when we met this first guy that was when he walked in, I told Jess, I was like, I don't like him. I was like, I don't like him.
Yeah.
I was like,
And then me being like,
the nice one. And I was like,
the not intimidating one.
I was
giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's funny. That's where we
like
are different.
immediately
Yeah.
I was like, I went with the interview and everything, and Jess was like, yes. And I was like, I don't know. There's something, and I know it's not going to work out, and it didn't.
Yeah. So if you could give a piece of advice to the year ago you, or to the entrepreneur that's about to start, what do you think you would say? Because you've said a bunch of really good stuff about hiring, about quality, about location, about all these things, but like, what's something that you feel like everyone or you should have known?
What do you think?
I
think just,
enjoy every moment of it.
Don't over stress the little details.
Yes.
That's me. I'm like stressing out about ordering candy. I'm like, why is this a big deal?
And
right?
I'm always like, it will be fine. We'll
She's
work
like,
it
calm
out.
down.
That's hilarious. Yeah, and it is crazy how often it does work out. Mm-hmm. How often, if you do care and you are doing your best, people, they're okay. They're going to move on. They're not going to hold it against you. It's going to kind of work out. That's so good. I remember, I know your days are a little different. Sunday nights used to be horrible for me. Like Sunday nights, I would just stay up in a panic, just stressed out of my mind, thinking about the week, starting on Monday morning. And it was just like, Monday mornings never ruined us. There's been 4 years of Monday mornings. It's fine. This has been extremely fun. I want to wrap it up with just some weird rapid fire questions. What is a recent purchase of $100 or less that you have made that you would make again? Does anything come to mind?
My Vans. I just got new tennis shoes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's
yes.
it. That's great. That's great.
No,
That's
I'm
great.
like, I don't know if I can top that one. I love some Vans.
And they were less than 100.
Next question. Is there anything that you're binging on currently that you just can't get enough of?
I mean, I'm done binging because I've had to wait for so long, but I've been watching Game of Thrones.
That is the rage.
Mm-hmm.
That is the rage. Ureli, what about you?
I don't think I'm binging nothing.
Anything you're
She
avoiding?
was binging on that carrot cake yesterday.
Shut up. I'm on a diet, guys. Don't believe that. I'm trying to do a cleanse here.
Carrot juice is a cleanse. Carrot cake, it was just, you just didn't juice it. You're fine.
It was
You're
good.
You're good.
I realized I was like half done with it. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so good.
Here's maybe a little bit more intense.
I'm avoiding carrot cake right now.
If you could write one sentence and it would be in every fortune cookie, what would it say?
Go, Jess. Go.
Jess, you're up.
www.vagaro.com/The Barrel House Barber Lounge. Book now.
There we go. That's awesome. That's awesome. I never pay attention to that. That's right.
Yeah. Book online.
VARGO.
Yeah.
It's also on your Facebook. It's also on Instagram. That's how I usually book. Have you got better at reading the messages? I remember the first time I came in, little Miss Ureli did not read the message that I wanted the nose. Because, like, true story, I watch a lot of YouTube videos of barbers for some reason. The nose waxing, you can smell for days. It's amazing. It's
What
amazing.
do you mean you can smell for days?
You smell everything.
okay.
It's
She's
like,
never
oh
done
yeah,
it.
sorry. It's a different sensation of smell. There's not all that nose hair filtering out. Yeah, filtering out the dirt. No, bring that dirt in. I'll cough it up. What about you? What would you have the fortune cookie say?
I would say, I don't know, just take some shots at life. I don't know.
Perfect. Ladies, this was extremely fun. They can follow you, Instagram handle, The Barrel House BL. What is it? The Barrel House KC. Okay. And then same on Facebook?
Yeah, I just realized I didn't have my microphone.
Oh, so the Barrel House KC on Instagram and Facebook. Be sure to check it out. If you are in Kansas City, especially, I would add, if you are north of the river, there is nothing in a 100-mile radius. That might be an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. There's nothing like it. It's a quick drive. It's right by the river market. You can go to the farmer's market on Saturday, buy some papaya or whatever the heck you're going to buy. And, actually, don't just walk in. Book it at Vagaro, whatever. Vagaro. Ladies, I know you're coming up on a year. You're going to have many more years. Thanks a ton for doing this. You're definitely doing something well. Guys, thanks so much for listening to that episode with Jessica and Urelli of the Barrel House Barber Lounge. There's a ton of things to learn from, to grow from, things about like what happens when you don't find the right space, how to give your 2-week notice, things like how to partner up and build great quality and service and things like that. There's so much. Go back and re-listen to it. Follow them on Instagram. You can follow along in all the show notes. Guys, we appreciate, and we're going to keep doing this each and every week because we love what we're doing. We love the people that we're encountering, and we hope that this is beneficial to you. If it is, please go down and hit that 5-star review button. Give us 5-star ratings, and if you really want to go above and beyond, write a review. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. Make sure you don't fall behind and have to listen to hours upon hours upon hours of me talking, because you know I will. Guys, have a great week. We'll talk to you later.